Hello, welcome back to our Monday messages on a Tuesday. How are you? How was your holiday week? I know for so many of us it has been a lot of hustle and bustle, and this year has been a lot. So we are excited to be making this transition to December and welcoming in 2023. A couple of announcements. Number one, I am offering a pay what you want breathwork experience and healing experience tonight. I know this time of year can be stressful for so many of us and so many demands placed on us, not only physically, but also energetically and spiritually. There's just a lot happening. And so my Black Friday, Cyber Monday offering was really just to hold this space for you. So it is pay what you want. It can be free if you need it to be. If you'd like to exchange for it, there's a way to do that as well. So whatever feels good for you is great. But if you feel called, I hope you'll join us tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Tuesday, the 29th of November. The second announcement, of course, is that year ahead readings are still happening. So if you're interested in that, they definitely have like a different flavor to them this year. It is really less about the like prediction and more about helping you to see and embody who and what you're meant to be as you walk the journey of 2023. That is the whole point. You're meant to feel incredibly empowered and aware and competent and confident to be able to take this journey of 2023. That is the intention of the year ahead readings this year. So if that calls for you, if you're wanting supportive space for your dreams, your desires to be held and witnessed, and to really feel into what your soul is asking of you for next year, I hope you will join me for a 2023 year ahead reading. The link to those is also in my profile. Okay, last but not least, let's get to our messages. So we have 3 messages this week. I will not lie. They were very hard to channel. Like, it was not coming through. I had to like start this over a few times and like really clear myself and do all the things to get myself like really centered to receive, because they were not coming through super clearly. But finally, after all of that, we got some messages. So here we go. So go ahead and I just say that to say, like, I think that might be something in the energetics right now. Just, I think I mentioned it in my story yesterday, like, communication feels like not flowy right now. So anyway, okay, so go ahead and close your eyes. And you can bring to center a question, an intention, something that you're needing guidance or support on. And then choose message 1, 2, or 3. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Okay, here we go. So message number 1 is, I saw it in 2 ways. It was funny. At first I saw a zipper and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And then I cleared everything and I saw a button and I was like, that's interesting. And then I started to receive what was happening. And this was really about like keeping whatever you're doing or whatever's happening with you close to the vest, keeping it buttoned up, keeping it zippered up right now, because it looks like whatever is happening is still very much like in process, it's in progress. And you know, there's a theory in quantum physics that like the observation of the object changes the nature of the object, is kind of like vaguely how it goes. And that feels very present for you right now. So if you're working on something, if something's percolating, whether it's something in your external environment or something, some sort of like healing or something you're working with or working through within, this is really not the time to share it. It is really a time for it to be an introspective, individuated, internal process, and keep it like close and kind of buttoned up. because even like sharing it externally or trying to process it externally might impact the journey that you're on with it. So message number one was really about like, there will be a time and a place to share, but right now this part of the journey feels much more introverted. It feels much more internal, much more individuated, like it's meant to be just for you for the time being. So whatever that means for you, if you chose message number one, just know that you are meant to kind of keep it buttoned up and keep it close to the vest for the time being, because it's not ready to be shared yet. It is still just for you. Okay, that was message number one. Message number two was like all about this idea of like community, and it was really about the fact that there's so much noise right now. I don't know if you guys feel this way, but it just feels like being bombarded from like all directions, everything and everyone all the time, and it's like it's just a lot. It can be very overstimulating, particularly for empathic or sensitive people. So what I was understanding was that like it's really important to like pick and choose the maybe few people who you are like available to hear from or available to kind of let into your sphere right now, your sphere of influence, and that like that's like a very intentional choice for you. So this is like there's like more coming through right now, but yeah, this is like, you know, if you're like muting everyone but like 5 people on Instagram, or you know, being like, okay, I'm really this week I'm like not taking like extraneous calls, I'm really focused on like connecting with these few people, and I'll like engage with them, but the rest of like my text messages or social gatherings or whatever like are kind of being filtered out so that I can really focus on the community, the people, the energy that is right for me. And it's not like in a weird like, oh, boundaries, everybody else is like toxic kind of way. That's not the vibe at all. It's just that like with so much information and with so much like buzz kind of happening, it can be very hard for you to get clarity on what is meant for you, or what where you're meant to like put your energy. So the message was like filter for community. Similarly, like if you are a practitioner, a service provider, a business of some sort, this is an opportunity to like get even more clear about who you're talking to, and making sure that you are aligning whatever your offerings are with the person that you want to speak to, with the person that like you are meant to serve, or that your product is meant to support. This is not the time for like a wide net. It is really a time for niching down your sphere of influence and being like very specific about who you are trying to reach and impact, but also being very specific about who you allow to reach and impact you. So that was message number 2. And last but not least is message number 3. And this was really interesting. So what came up here, do you guys remember the storybook, The Giving Tree? Like, I think it was Shel Silverstein. I'm not sure. It was like it's a classic children's book, beautiful metaphor and story. But essentially the story of this is like, there's this tree that is in love with this boy, and this boy is in love with this tree, and they have this beautiful, long-standing relationship. And, you know, like I have ink on my hand. The boy essentially like, whatever the tree needed, the boy provided for it. So the other way around, whatever the boy needed, the tree provided for it. So, you know, when he needed a place to play, he gave him a place to play. When he needed shade, he gave him shade. When he needed sticks, he gave him sticks. And like, I mean, I'm probably butchering this, but essentially the moral of the story is like, the tree ended up giving all of itself away, and all that was left of it was like a stump. And that didn't serve anybody. The tree was really no longer a tree, and the boy no longer had this like beautiful resource and like friend. And so the message here was like, basically like you can't pour from an empty cup, and it's so important right now to be intentional about where you're giving your energy away. Do we see a common theme here, people? Like, hello, it was coming in loud and clear that like we cannot just constantly be freely giving of attention, resources, etc. So this message was like, number one, paying attention to where you are giving from, like what is the place that you're giving from within you, and is it a resource place? Do you have what it is that you are wanting to give? Are you available to give it? And are you doing so in a way that is also of service to you, or are you doing so in a way that is to your detriment and is essentially going to leave you lacking the very resources that you hope to provide? So if you need more clarification on message 3, I highly suggest checking out the Giving Tree and really absorbing the metaphor that is there, because that was message number 3. Is really about paying attention to the giving and receiving relationships in your experience right now, and being mindful of how much you give of yourself, so that you do not end up as just a stump, which can easily happen this time of year, and can easily happen with those of us who are giving by nature. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed these messages. Let me know down below how they resonated for you, if it fit, what came up for you. And of course, I hope to see you in Breathwork for Renewal tonight, the 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you. I love you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.